In this video I will tell you about habits of poor people which keep them poor whole of their life. Must watch full video, and if you have any of one, then get rid of it, otherwise you will not be rich. First of all, you must know who is poor. Poor isn't always a financial term. Poor is a state of mind that traps you in poverty. No matter how much money you have, the word poor can be used to describe someone who doesn't take care of their health, neglects their family, treats others horribly, and so much more. This is why every year many wealthy people commit suicide. Also, that's why you hear stories of people who win the lottery and end up broke a few years later. The blame game. Did you know there's one way to check a person's maturity level? Monitor someone after they make mistakes. A person who assumes full responsibility for their actions has reached a high level of maturity. However, there are many people in this world who refuse to do that. They'll blame someone else or anything as a reason to why they aren't successful. If my mom would have raised me better, I would be rich. If my husband didn't cheat on me, I would be happy right now. The reason why I'm like this is because life isn't fair. You had everything handed to you. The list goes on and on. The truth is, life is unmerciful for each and every one of us. What a poor person sees as an obstacle, a wealthy person sees an opportunity. The impossible. Two different people can see the same event and form totally different thoughts about it. If the two drive through a high-end neighborhood, the poor person will think, I'll never have a nice home like that. The successful person will think, how can I make enough money to afford that house? I've dealt with people who I've tried to help, and they simply don't believe it's possible for them. They'll say things like, yeah, that works for them, but it won't for me, or I don't have those kinds of skills to make that happen. They set their own limitations and trap themselves in jail. No one can help someone who is their own worst enemy. Rich people believe, I create my life. Poor people believe, life happens to me. Do you really believe you can control what direction your life goes? Hopefully most of you will say that you do, but do your actions back it up? If you really believe that you can control the direction of your life, you'll take action to get where you want to go. If you don't, you won't. Instead, you will believe that you are just a victim of your circumstances. It's easier to believe that life happens to you because it lets you off the hook. It's not your fault that you're poor, or overweight, or unable to find a good spouse. Those were all the result of bad breaks that came your way. You're just playing the hand you were dealt. The reality is that everyone will have their fair share of bad breaks, but if you are proactively in control of your life instead of reactively responding, the bad breaks don't break you. The very first step in any journey of self-improvement is to admit to yourself that you can make things better, and are responsible for doing so. What's keeping you from being rich? In most cases, it's simply a lack of belief. In order to become rich, you must believe you can do it, and you must take the actions necessary to achieve your goal. Suze Orman. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. Here's where things get real. It has often been said that your network is your net worth. It has also been observed that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who are you spending your time with? Are they making you better, or dragging you down? Do they invigorate you with their positive vibes, or suffocate you with their negativity? The brutal truth is that if you want to be successful, there is no room for negative vibes. That friend that's always complaining, they need to either stop or find someone else to complain to. There is enough negativity in the world. If you want to be successful, you should take a page from entrepreneur extraordinaire Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Positive Vibes Only. Today, the greatest single source of wealth is between your ears. Brian Tracy. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. One of the biggest illustrations of this is consumer debt in the United States. I remember reading in article from USA Today that said according to a recent study, the people with the lowest net worth have the highest credit card debt as a group. There are times when debt is okay. My rule of thumb is you should only borrow to build, meaning you should expect to get a return that outweighs the cost of borrowing. The majority of credit debt is not like this. What happens is that you delay the need to pay, and you pay a premium for the ability to do that, i.e. interest. This means that when you go to work you are working to earn money that you've already spent. That's about as bad a job as you can do of managing your money. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. Man, oh man, this is a big one. Listen, if the things you wanted in life could be found in your comfort zone, you would have found them already. Things like wealth and success require you to take the scary act of stepping out of your comfort zone and executing on the things that will make you successful. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. Have you ever heard someone claim that they had the idea for Uber before Uber? Then why didn't they do anything about it? If I had to pick one explanation, this might be it. They were stuck in a mindset that recognized obstacles, not opportunities. If all you can see are obstacles, you'll never seize on an opportunity even if it is staring you right in the face. You need to be able to look for opportunities and have the courage to tackle them despite their obstacles. Living in the past or future. The only way to be successful is to take advantage of your moment right now. Tomorrow is not promised and the past is gone. Poor-minded people love to talk about how great things used to be. They enjoy living in the days when things were good. You'll come across these people who always talk about the good old days. However, the only time a successful person analyzes the past is to learn from it. The future is now, not someday. Another poor-minded habit is to talk about one day. One day I'll hit the lottery. One day I'll drive that nice car. I'll move out the state one day. No successful people don't hope or wish. They set goals and achieve them. If they wanted to move out of the state, they'd come up with a plan and work on it. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. Have you ever heard someone who isn't successful trying to justify why they aren't successful? They will have a string of excuses as long as their arm, and all of them shift the blame to someone or something else. It's the government's fault. It was their old boss's fault. The industry is in decline. The market is bad. Their coworkers don't do their job, etc., etc., etc. The way they talk about their problems make you think that they will never succeed. Their problems are bigger than they are. Successful people realize that their problems are obstacles that are going to need to be overcome for them to continue succeeding. In their mind, they are bigger than their problems. You can choose which one of these mindsets you will adopt.